What's up with it, my people? This your boy FJ3000, man, back with a brand new episode of Just Sports. And I got my boy Jay Rich right here. And I got my boy Mr. Polo, man, better known as June. Man, so we trying to pop this thing off, man. We trying to do the college football playoffs, man. We're going to make our predictions. We're going to talk a little bit about the teams, what we think, what we like about the teams, and what we don't like about the teams. And we really want you guys to give y'all feedback on it, man. Like I said, it's been a long year. It's been a long year. We was finally able to get some basketball this year, finally able to get a little bit of football, and now we got the college football playoffs. And it's going to be exciting. So like I said, man, we're going to dive into it. We're going to dissect this thing, and we're going to tell y'all how we feel about it. We're going to give y'all our scores, and that's how we're going to do it. So let's roll with it, baby. So, man, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to pop it off with Ohio State and Clemson. Ohio State, man, I don't see it. I don't see it. First thing I'm going to say about Ohio State, though, I don't know if y'all heard about this. Dabo Swinney said he feel like that.
I heard.
You heard about it?
Yeah, I heard.
Dabo Swinney said he felt like that Ohio State was the 11th ranked team in the nation. And his reason for saying that is that because they hadn't played enough games. Ohio State only had like an 8-game schedule due to COVID. The conference decided not to start when everybody else started. So when they did start, they came out with an 8-game schedule, only finished with 6 games. So Dabo is saying, look, man, we need more than that. For you to be playing in the Final Four, you need better effort. We need more games to see what you really look like, man. So I really want you guys' take on that. What y'all think about that?
My take is they shouldn't be in.
They shouldn't be in. Why? Why shouldn't they be in?
To piggyback off what you said, follow up what you said is, 6 games ain't enough. You set out, they suspended 2 of your games. Still played a conference championship game, which they looked terrible bad in.
Struggle big time in that game.
I mean, at the end of the day, 6 games. Well, if it wasn't COVID, 6 games that barely even get you a bowl game, honestly. So,
I think 6 games. If you win 6 games, I think you get a bowl game.
You get a bowl. You get a bowl.
But I mean, what's your take
in the college playoffs with season winning?
No, not in the playoffs.
Not in the playoffs, but my take on it is for the teams that's on the outside looking in, which is always 2 or 3 teams that's on the outside looking in every year since they've had the playoffs. It's always 2-3 teams that's got the same records. Right. Maybe 1 loss, 2 loss teams. You got Texas A&M right there, on the outside looking in. For real. 1 loss. They lost to Alabama. They beat everybody else in the SEC, which the SEC has been, one of the toughest conferences in the U.S. I mean, well,
for the last 70 years?
Longest probably college football been going on. Well, in college football.
So hold up 1 second. Think about this. So you got Texas A&M playing 12, 13 games.
11. They play 11 games.
11 games. And they sitting back playing in a bowl game that they probably don't want to play in.
They don't want to play in that.
Watching a team win 6 games and go to the Final Four. That's crazy.
So you already know what my answer is. Hey, look, the people that grinded it out, went played those games, went through their injuries and still, came out with 1 loss or no losses or however it go. If you played the whole season, you should be highly considered, to play in that playoff. Instead of some team that played half the games you played, and just because of their name and politics they got put in.
And let me say this, it's no knock to Ohio State, because Ohio State, they wanted to play. Most of the teams in the Big Ten, they wanted to start the season just like everybody else. But if I'm not mistaken, the commissioner of the conference, they wanted to wait. And when they saw everybody else playing, now it's time to jump on board. You can't wait till the last minute. So now they reaping the benefits of just having the name Ohio State. Because I guarantee you, let's look at it like this. Do you think Notre Dame gets in the Final Four with 6 victories?
Never.
No.
Never. They barely got in right now. They barely got in.
It's not gonna happen. It's not. So it was that they put them in the playoffs simply off their name. Because they didn't show that much in the season that they was really worthy of making the playoffs. They struggled against who's the team they just played?
Northwestern.
They struggled against them. They struggled against Indiana when they should have went on and blew Indiana back. Indiana came back and made that a ball game. So they struggled in 6 of those games. I mean, in 2 of those games, they struggled. So
The last 3 games out of the 6 they played, they struggled.
You could have easily allowed Texas A&M to get that spot. But since it's Ohio State and Clemson, we all know that Ohio State they got Fields at quarterback. I mean, great athlete, great player. Even though he struggled, the last 3 games?
The last 3 games, conference championship game, no touchdowns. Last 3 games he thrown for total of 5 interceptions
in the last 3 ball games. So and you going up against some dogs. You going up against some dogs in Clemson. Clemson, they got pretty much manhandled last year in the championship. So they got something on their mind that they trying to prove. So they probably finna try to walk the dog on Ohio State on a team that Dabo basically said you don't belong here. Now he did come back and say, well, they're a good team. They worthy of this spot, but guess what?
They made him say it.
Nah.
They made him come back and say it.
He meant what he said.
He meant what he said the first time.
They don't belong. They're the 11th best team. Go ahead.
This is what it is. Okay. Fields, 1,521 yards. Okay. 119 completions, 15 touchdowns. 6 game sample, 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He's been sacked 18 times in 6 games.
Ooh.
18 times he's been sacked in 6 games. So that means that his O-line is not keeping him clean.
No.
He not, okay. Look here. Sacks for the season that Clemson has is 44 sacks. They have 44 sacks on the season. He's been sacked, I say again, 18 times. That's frightening. Didn't know you finna go up against a defense that's gonna have that many sacks in this season, and your O-line is not keeping you clean.
And you got to think, man, Clemson, they are seasoned right now.
Yeah.
They seasoned. Ohio State not seasoned. Like I said, 8-game schedule. You only play 6. You haven't shown nobody nothing. You've struggled in a lot of those games. So, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't see this being a close game. I really don't.
They got it 7.5 points.
Is that what they got it?
I think
7.5.
7.5 points.
If that's the case, I think it should probably be more 17.
About 20.
I would say 17 up in that area, but I definitely think it'll be a 2-score game. Definitely.
Even though Clemson, they didn't struggle running the football majority of the season, especially the last couple games they played. But they still averaging around 35, 40 points a game.
I will say this, man. Clemson,
without their running game.
Clemson showed the committee that they were back. A lot of people don't know, man, but Clemson been injured. They've been injured for most of the season, and they had their full squad when they played Notre Dame. They had their full arsenal. Their defense was back. They had 2 receivers back.
The quarterback was back.
Their quarterback was back. Of course, he was dealing with COVID. He sat out 2 games. But they back. So trust me, they coming. I do not see this being... it may be close throughout, maybe midway through the second quarter. But I can see Clemson pulling away with this game, man. And Like I said, anywhere from a 14 to a 17-point victory. That's what I see.
So what you got down as a prediction of on the game score? Who you got? Well, you already saying that you got Clemson taking it. You know what I'm saying? So what's your prediction on it? Because some people that's watching this, they may want to take yours and you know what I'm saying, bank on it. They might want to bank on it.
My prediction: Ohio State last 3 games really struggled. Quarterback not playing well. 5 picks over the last 3. Last year's game was 29-23. Reason they lost, they couldn't settle for field goals. Couldn't score a touchdown. I feel like this year will be the same way. You won't beat Clemson with field goals.
They had a chance at the very end.
They did.
Fields threw a bad pass. He threw a bad pass in the end zone. That was the game. Yeah. That was the game winning play that he could have made last year, and he didn't make it.
But it wouldn't even came down to that if they would have scored touchdowns. They was in position time out of time to score touchdowns. They didn't settle for field goals, got them beat. My prediction, Clemson 35-17.
That's pretty good prediction. I'm gonna go with Clemson 30-13. That's what I'll go with. 30-13. I don't think Ohio State, they hadn't shown enough to even make me think they can compete with Clemson. They just hadn't. And I know a lot of people say, oh, well, they got just as many star players, 5-star, 4-star players as Clemson got. I agree. They got some great athletes over there in Ohio State. But I just don't think they've had enough time to put in the work throughout the whole entire season to be prepared for a game like this. I don't think Ohio State is a bad team. I just think the predicament that they're in with their season starting so late, with everything that they have had going on, and the other teams have been playing games. You got to remember, Clemson got a 5-game stretch on them. They done played 5 more games than them. So, I mean, that's my take on it. What you got, brother?
I got Clemson 28, Ohio State 14.
That's not bad though.
I don't see Ohio State scoring. I don't see them scoring over 14 points. In this meeting, it's a little bit of animosity between the two because it's been talking in the media between the two. So and then they got history from the last time that they played. So I think T Diddy, Trevor Lawrence, as I'm gonna call him, T Diddy. I think Sunshine. You know what I'm saying? I think Sunshine and Dabo Swinney they're gonna have something for him. And I think he's gonna be looking to really solidify that first pick in the draft with this game and the next game that he plays. So I think he's gonna make a statement, and I'm putting him ahead by 2 scores, 28-14.
And let me say this, and I think everybody prediction as far as Ohio State's score, a lot of people don't take into consideration about Clemson's defensive coordinator. I can't really think of dude's name off the top of my head, but Clemson defensive coordinator, man, dude is a monster. When I say dude prepare for games, he is a monster. He know what he is doing. This man will keep you from scoring points.
And just think about it. He's getting the type of money the head coaches is making as a defensive coordinator.
That's big.
Everybody want this man. Auburn wanted him as
he
a
be
head
turning
coach.
it down.
Why leave?
He happy. I'm getting paid. I ain't got to go nowhere.
And I'm winning national championship. So why leave and start over?
I just, once again, man, I can't see it. I can't see Ohio State, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people across the country is going with Clemson. I'm pretty sure Clemson got like a probably 85% chance of winning, whatever the percentage is. But I can't see Ohio State doing it. So that's our take on it, man. Next, we're gonna move right into probably the hottest team in the last decade. I'm pretty sure. Probably the hottest team in the last decade, man. You already
Saint
know.
Nick.
You know what I'm talking about?
Saint Nick, man. Nick Saban, the dude is probably the greatest. Ain't no probably to it. I give him the greatest coach of college football, man. They going up against Notre Dame. And these guys know, man, I'm a Notre Dame guy. Of course, I'm a Razorback, but, man, I like Notre Dame. I actually grew up watching Notre Dame. Back in the country, man, a lot of people don't know, but we didn't have many channels back in the country.
2.
We had like 2 channels, so you were stuck watching Notre Dame on NBC, and that's what it was. So as a kid, I watched Notre Dame play. So I always kind of rooted for Notre Dame, you know, outside of being rooting for Arkansas.
I ain't rooting for them suckers.
And
I ain't rooting for them suckers. I don't care. I
As
don't
of
care how
right
much
now-
things on TV. I ain't seeing enough black people on their team. I ain't rooting for you.
As of right now, man, they got Alabama as a 17-point favorite. But I just want to go over something about Notre Dame that really bothers me about Notre Dame. Because Notre Dame play good ball, man. They play good ball every single year. Every season, they find a way to play some good ball. And they get the same caliber players that Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State get. Whatever Ohio State don't get, or Clemson don't get, or Alabama don't get, a lot of them kids go right on to Notre Dame. They getting 5-star players, 4-star players. They getting them up there. So, but over the last, I went back and looked at, I think maybe the last 5 bowl games for Alabama. And back in 2006, they played in the Fiesta Bowl. They lost to Ohio State 34-20. Notre Dame did. Notre Dame lost to Ohio State 34-20. 2007 in the Sugar Bowl, they lost to LSU 41-14. 2013, they lost in the BCS Championship game to Alabama 42-14. And then 2018 in the Citrus Bowl, they beat LSU 21-17. Then they turn around again in the 2018 Cotton Bowl. I know y'all hear me say 2018 twice, but it fell in the year like that. They lost to Clemson 30-3 in that game. And of course we know they lost to Clemson again 34-10 in the ACC championship this year. So I said all that to say this. They don't show up in big games.
They definitely don't. And if you can remember, man, I can't think of that kid name.
Mantateo.
That's that guy's name.
The linebacker.
Hey, the one that had
Notre
got the
Dame.
catfish. That boy. Hey, look, man, he talked all that mess, man, and got out there and was woofing. He was Olayin and hey, look, it was like he was Matador. If a running back came towards, he fell down and let him get it. He didn't want no smoke. And that's how I feel about Notre Dame.
I mean, that's true.
That's how I feel about Notre Dame, man. Big games, they lay down.
They not a physical football team when it comes to the Alabama, Clemson. They just not physical enough. And it shows.
I believe they lift in plastic weights. And everybody else getting that iron, you know what I'm talking about? I think they lift in plastic
The only
weights.
thing that worries me in this game is the Notre Dame receivers. They big, they go 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2", 6'2", 6'3". And Alabama, they D-backs, they led by a bunch of underclassmen.
Okay, well,
Freshmen, sophomores. And I go back to the game against Ole Miss. After contact, they gave up 250 yards. Mm-hmm. After contact. Against Florida, Kyle Pitts, the kid a monster, man. But he had his way with Alabama. He did whatever he wanted to do. They double teamed and whatever. He got what he wanted.
Mm-hmm. And it, you know.
Yeah, of course. The outcome was Alabama.
And that's all that
the
matters.
outcome was Alabama.
That's all that matters.
But still, you know.
Hold on one second.
Go ahead.
This is what I know. And the stats don't lie. In book, 64% completion rating. 64. That's what he is. 64%. So that's just a little bit above half. Just a little bit above half. So that's a lot of missed thrown balls, drops. I don't care how tall your receivers is. If you can't deliver it to him, it don't matter. He got 15 touchdowns this season. 15 touchdowns. The passing game is not the threat. He got 15 touchdowns in not a sample size season, in a whole season.
Yeah.
A whole season. That's 15 touchdowns. That's trash. That's trash for a quarterback. Let's move on down.
You got Mac Jones.
Mac Daddy Jones, baby.
At 3,739 yards, 32 touchdowns.
32 touchdowns.
Only 4 picks.
Okay, let's look at this though. So Notre Dame, they can run the ball good. They did against Clemson when Clemson went to Notre Dame. Notre Dame actually had a really good game, and I know a lot of people say, well, Trevor Lawrence wasn't there.
Sunshine wasn't there.
They say, well, they were missing a linebacker and all this, but you got to think, man. I mean, how many more points would Trevor Lawrence have put up? Because he put up 40. Clemson put up 40 points. And I like I said, I do understand that he wasn't there. And I know he makes a difference when he is there. Notre Dame still was able to shut down ETN. They was able to do that. They were able to run the ball. That's very important. Notre Dame has to find a way to establish a run game. They got to be able to run the ball and establish that run so it can set up play action. It can set up getting throws downfield to the big tight ends and the receivers and try their best to keep that high-octane offense from Alabama on the sideline. That's the way that they'll be able to stay in the ball game. You can't try to outshoot Alabama because it won't work.
So what was, you know what I'm saying? They played Notre Dame and Clemson played twice.
Yes.
When Sunshine came back, what was the outcome?
Oh, it was a disaster.
It was a disaster.
It was disaster.
Oh, it was hard to watch.
I'm not saying that he did make a difference in the first game. Of course, he wasn't there because I'm pretty sure it was plays that Clemson didn't run because he wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? So they couldn't really open things up like they wanted to. I understand all of that. But I still say that Clemson was able to still score points. You know what I'm saying? They were still able to put up 40 points. Went into overtime and all of that good stuff. But, like I said, they were only missing a linebacker, if I'm not mistaken, from Clemson. And Notre Dame ran the ball good. Notre Dame has to take that same mindset to the Alabama game to try to keep Mac Jones and the Smith kid and Nigel Harris on the sideline.
And meet you third.
You cannot go and look at Florida. Florida had an opportunity to get a victory against them, but you can't try to outscore them. Of course, the object is to outscore the team, but all this going back and forth you're not gonna win like that. You can't win like that. So, and another big thing, if you look at Mac Jones, he don't get sacked.
Nah, he don't get sacked at all, bro.
He don't get sacked. So Notre Dame has to find a way to get some pressure on Mac Jones. Can they get pressure on him? That's another. So I'm trying to look at all the aspects to see even see do they even have a slim opportunity? Because to me if they can play like they played against Clemson, I think they can do the same exact thing against Alabama. I'm not saying for a victory. I'm just saying as far as the same game, the same mindset. Take that same mindset into that very game because they ran the ball well against Clemson. But you got to be versatile when you play Alabama.
The mindset Notre Dame will have to have, they going to have to be up-tempo and consistent to have a chance in this ball game.
Up-tempo getting them blue out.
They got to slow it down.
Up-tempo getting them blue out.
They can't slow it down. They can't.
That's the only way.
Alabama is not good in an up-tempo setting. They not good.
But
they too young for it. Ole Miss came out. They did the same thing. Speed. They didn't know what was going on. Out of position. That's the only thing I can say that Notre Dame will have a chance to win this ball
I don't
game.
disagree with what you're saying. You got a valid point, but I can't see Notre Dame just being a high-powered, fast offense like that. I mean, they go huddle. But
over the last, how many years is that? 5?
This is 5 years.
5 years of doing the same thing and getting beat up on.
I mean, like I said,
it's time to do something different. You gotta do something different.
Well, this is okay. You saying that they gotta speed things up. I just don't believe they have the personnel to speed it up.
They have the personnel. I feel they have a first round quarterback. They do. They receiving core not bad. They running back not bad.
They O-line is trash.
He could.
They O-line trash. Right quick.
Yeah.
Let's just go to this.
But I'm gonna say this right quick while you checking it out. I mean, he has potential to be in the first round, but he won't go first round. He won't go first round. And I mean, I like his effort. He got so much heart, but I can't see him going first round.
He's not going first round. Not with no 2,601 yards passing. He's not going first round. It's not gonna happen. He's been sacked 23 times in 11 games. He's been sacked 23 times in 11 games. He's been sacked more times than he done threw touchdowns.
So basically, what you saying that there is no way they could go fast.
If they go fast, you're gonna get killed.
I mean, yeah, like I said, you can. It's a difference between going fast and going no huddle. You can go no huddle.
You can go no huddle.
You know what I'm saying? You can go no huddle, but that soon as we get a first down, let's get back on the ball.
It ain't happening, man.
Man, before you know it, you'll be 3 and out, and Najee Harris will be putting one. Now, forget Najee Harris putting one in the end zone because this Smith kid is dangerous on special teams. So when you punt it, he probably
He'll be looking at the back of his jersey.
It's a chance he could run it back.
He'll be looking at the back of his jersey. That's what it is.
Man, you don't want to make the game. You got to run that football. You got to run that football.
You got to keep it out of their hands, man. They got 3-headed monster.
And I'm not saying you got to run the football for 10, 15 yards, but long as you get 3 to 4 yards, something like that to kind of keep the game close, make the game smaller. Because if you get out here, it's gonna be over.
It's gonna be a bad.
It's gonna be bad. And like I said, and I don't know if a lot of people knowing this or not, man, but man, Alabama. When I tell you, at first about Alabama, the first thing that come to my mind is experience. And of course, they ain't got the experience with the players on the field, but they got the head honcho. You see what I'm saying? They ain't got the overall experience with the players, but they got the boss man though. That's done been there, and that's done it, and he done it, and he done it, and he finna probably do it again.
He had COVID twice. Came back and done it some more. St. Nick, baby.
So that's the first thing I think when I think about Alabama. I think about the experience, what they done been through, and the next thing is that even though they not that 4 or 5 years ago Alabama defense. We all know that. We know that. But guess what? The offense that they was 4 or 5 years ago, they a total different offense now. Because if y'all can remember, Alabama ain't always been this pass.
Nah, ground and pound, baby.
They've been let's hand it
Let's
off.
hand it off.
Let's hand
They
it.
done-
That's,
One thing makes them so dangerous is that they can line their running back up in the slot and run routes.
that's big time.
And he got
And
wide
run
receiver
routes.
hands.
That's big time. Man, when
No
I
college
seen,
linebacker can cover that.
when I seen Harris in the SEC championship game catching balls out of the backfield, catching balls, I think maybe from the slot,
This is slot.
and run them for touchdowns, I said, man, the NFL calling right now.
Yeah.
Because when you got a running back that can catch that ball out the backfield like it ain't nothing and turn it upfield, and out there looking like Le'Veon Bell with them catches, you own to something. So, and then they
Just keep it in mind. Mac Jones got 32 passing touchdowns. Harris got 24 rushing touchdowns.
Ooh. And I
Devontae Smith got 17 receiving touchdowns. Keep that in mind.
And another thing about it is, man, you got Matt Jones, Devontae Smith, and Najee Harris. They all going up for a Heisman.
Off the same team.
When has that ever happened? They all going up for a Heisman. It don't happen.
It's unprecedented.
And the killer thing about it is, man, these boys averaging 49 points a game.
On your head. And we talking.
Killing part is not just the 49. We lost another high-powered
Wow.
receiver
Yeah.
for the season.
I actually
They
forgot
had
about
him. They had him higher. They had him higher than Smith coming out this year in the
course.
draft.
Of course.
And they lost him and didn't miss a beat.
Didn't miss a beat.
And just just thinking they had him still. Ooh, wee. You could book it.
Thanks to Mitchell III, he stepped up. 780 some receiving yards on the
782.
season.
782.
Like 6 touchdowns.
6 TDs.
So that's big. That's big time. Somebody else stepped up.
Man, I think we all headed. We know what we headed for.
We headed for another.
We headed for
Dabo.
Dabo
Saban
and St. Nick. It's,
showdown.
I mean,
For what? This is what?
They done, in the last
Fourth time?
Third or
Third
fourth
or
time.
fourth
third or fourth
time?
time. No. Yeah.
in what the last
Last
6 years,
6
somewhere
years?
between
Yeah,
that
6 years.
span. So I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what we're gonna get, man. That's exactly what we're gonna get. So I'm gonna give my prediction on this game, man. I really think, once again, man, with them boys averaging 49 points a game, I'm gonna give them a whopping 40. I'm gonna give them a whopping 40 to 13. 40 to 13. And I know, I think we'll see a different side of Notre Dame, especially coming off that loss from as far as effort, coming off that loss from Clemson. I think we'll see a look, because they didn't give a whole lot of effort in that Clemson game. They did.
They ain't been giving a lot
I
of lesson either.
I understand, it was a blowout probably from the get-go, but they didn't give a whole lot of effort throughout that game. I think we'll see a little bit better effort. So, like I said, 40-13 Alabama. That's my prediction.
Okay, so I got Alabama 52. I got Notre Dame 17.
Big number.
If Manti Te'o show up to the game, 59 13. If Manti Te'o show up. If he don't show up, they'll get 17. If they get more than 17, I'd be surprised. But 52-17, roll tide.
Y'all be killing me with this
Oh,
roll
boy.
tide, man.
I think Notre Dame will show up for a half. Try to make a game out of it, but it's just too much speed, They too physical. They'll get out coached. I'm gonna say Alabama 45 to 20.
45-20.
They beat when they get off the bus.
45 to 20. Roll Tide.
Man, that's it in a nutshell, man. That's really it, man. I think, like I said earlier, man, pretty much everybody know what's gonna go down. I mean, unless we have one of them COVID experience where 2020 just come in and take over a game, man.
Good thing this is gonna be in 2021.
That's true.
Good thing 2020 will be done when this happens.
Yeah, but that
It
COVID
don't
won't
matter.
be done.
COVID ain't going nowhere though.
So I mean, and it's been some crazy things happen, man, in the sports world, especially with the virus going on, man. You seeing teams winning that probably ain't got no business winning. You seeing teams, and I'm not just talking about college football. I'm talking about sports in general. Especially college basketball, man. You seeing some teams that's losing, that's probably normally not losing at this time of year. You got Duke losing, they don't look good. Kentucky, they losing, they don't look good. So I mean,
Big blue, baby.
there's just so much crazy stuff happening in the sports industry right now with COVID going on and fans not being able to make it. Of course, they claim that the Lakers had a fluke NBA championship because of COVID.
Indeed.
Wasn't no fans there and
Indeed.
all this, and
No travel.
they got all these crazy
fans.
things, and
Indeed.
everybody got their own opinion, but whatever with that. So, but I mean, those are our
They
predictions.
played in the same boat, but like everybody else played in.
Those are, like I said,
with no travel.
unless something crazy happen, then we all know it's gonna be Alabama and Clemson going head up. The ratings gonna be through the roof,
Book it.
and
It's big time right there. Big time football.
We'll get to those predictions, man, in a couple days, man. But y'all stay tuned. Once again, man, this your boy FJ3000,
Your boy Jay Rich Taylor.
and this my boy Mr. Polo June, man.
June James.
Hey, always remember, guys, be safe, be smart, and be wise, man. Y'all hit that like button, subscribe, man, so you guys can get notifications when we're on debating, talking about some of the greatest things going on in the sports world.
Hey, mask up.
I'm at your mama house.